Hey fam, how are you doing today? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tobi Achudume. If this is your first time here, you're super welcome. I'm so excited to have you here with me. So here on this channel, we'll talk about topics, tips and tricks that will help us grow fearlessly to the best versions of ourselves. Happy new month, guys. And so today I'm going to be doing a reset video and sharing with you my reset process for the new month. Let's get into it. So there are going to be different parts of this video, and I'm hoping that I can be consistent with doing reset vlogs because I see that I enjoy watching people's reset vlogs. There is just something about seeing someone do a reset vlog that helps you or inspires you to do a reset, or just look at how your month has been or how the year has been or even just the week has been. And so I've been doing reset vlogs on Instagram, and so I'm going to bring it back to YouTube as well. So let's start with my wins for the month of October. So I think it was the start of the quarter, not the start, the end of the third quarter of the year. So I think it was in July or August, I embarked on a 30 days running challenge. So I've done this before, but I did it for just 21 days. And that particular challenge kind of spilled into August for a bit. So I continued going for money runs in August. And then in September, I was thinking, what can I do that is going to be an habit that I want to form this new month? And so I thought I should cut down on sugar. And then I realized how difficult it was to cut down on sugar because there's sugar everywhere. There's sugar in rice, there's sugar in bread, there's sugar in almost every kind of thing that you can eat. And so I decided that I was going to cut down on soda and reduce my sugar intake. And I did well with it. I'm not going to lie. I did not have any soda, so fizzy drink, for the whole of September. And I saw how I felt about it, and I again spilled it over into October. Yeah, I love drinking Coke, and so I could drink Coke almost every day if you let me. And if I was not wiser, I probably would drink Coke every single day. But because I know better, I wasn't drinking Coke every single day. But then I still wasn't comfortable with how much I was relying on Coke. And so it was Coke I wanted to cut down on, actually, not just fizzy drink. But that's the only fizzy drink that I drink. I don't drink Fanta. I'm not a fan of Sprite here. So the only fizzy drink I was always drinking was Coke. And so cutting down on fizzy drink or soda meant cutting down on Coke, basically. And that's what I did. And doing this just foiled a lot of cutting down for me in the month of September and October, because I then saw that I cut down on coffee as well, which was not intentional. It just happened because I kept telling myself, if I'm cutting down on Coke, I cannot now switch Coke for coffee. And so I was intentional about not taking so much coffee in the month of October. So I reduced my intake of coffee drastically in October. So I also cut down on refined sugar, since I knew that cutting down on sugar as a whole was going to be difficult. So I wasn't having any chocolate or sweet. And I know this because I had like a pack of Snickers chocolates and I left it in my fridge for almost 2 months. And that was very strange for me because I am not one to say no to Snickers chocolate. I love Snickers chocolate, but I wasn't having it. And I also know that in the month of October, I only had pancakes, which was my major source of refined sugar aside from Coke and coffee. I only had pancakes twice in the month, and the last one was the 31st of October because I was home. So my decision to cut down on Coke kind of caused a ripple effect on cutting down on a lot of sugar. And so why I say this is a particular win for me is because after I decided, like after the challenge was done, I still struggled to have soda. I struggled to have like sugar and all of those things. And so now I'm just like, maybe I've just finally cut down on or cut off Coke, which I've been trying to do for a long time, but maybe I have succeeded in doing it now. I don't know. I'll let you guys know next month reset. Another win for me this month was that I finally read and finished a particular book that was on my TBR list for a long time. So the title of this book is Winning the Week, and I'm going to have it here. And I always wanted to see that book, but because I felt like it was going to be a book that I needed to sit down and be very intentional about reading and taking notes of the things in it, I always pushed it because I just didn't have the time to sit down and do the kind of work I wanted to, or I thought I was going to have to do with the book. But I read it in October, and the work that I did not want to do, it was now like I had to, because it was just so much gems that I needed to. I'm going to have a book review is coming up soon on that, so you should watch out for that. I'm also back to do my book reviews. But the book was so interesting, and I was like, yep, I do not regret having this on my TBR list for this year. So yeah, that's another win for me. I kept pushing it, and I read it, so that was good for me. The third win I am very, very excited about is that in October, I was very intentional. I've always been an intentional person with my personal devotion, and my relationship with God is something that I do not play with. I do not joke with it at all. But in October, I was more intentional about having a particular time that I was spending with God. So it wasn't like I wake up by 6 o'clock today, so I do my devotion by 6. And then tomorrow I wake up by 8 o'clock, and so I do my devotion by 8. I was very consistent with the time that I was spending. Now, I'm not going to say I was consistent with this every single day, but like for 95% of the days in October, I had a particular fixed time that I was spending on my devotion and studying and praying. And so when I'm talking about this, I'm not talking about the read your morning devotion and say a 5-minute prayer. I'm talking about being intentional about spending quality time with God. I was very intentional about doing that in October and for most of the days in the year, in the month. And so I'm very excited about that, because that is one thing, that's one win that I'm absolutely taking into November and even the rest of the year. Okay, so those are my wins for the month of October. Now, one thing that I wasn't so happy about in the month of October was that it was a raining autumn. Like, it was just raining every morning. I would say every morning, because I felt like every morning when I woke up, I looked out the window and I saw that it was raining. I was so upset because I could not go for my morning runs. And I was very excited about having the habit of morning runs, because it just made me feel like I could conquer anything in the day. And so the fact that I was not able to do that for the first few days in the month of October, I wasn't very happy about it, because it was something that I had included in my morning routine. And so it felt like I was missing out. And so I had to go back to doing my indoor workout sessions. I struggled to get back into it, I'm not going to lie, but I got back into it. So that's one thing that I'm not very excited about in the month of October. The fact that, which sounds very cheesy now that I talk about it, but yeah, that's something that I wasn't very happy about in the month of October, that I could not go for my morning runs. And I think it's raining a little bit less now, but it's now cold. So if you're going to go for a morning run, you're going to have to pack up for it. And as much as I enjoy running, I've not become the girl that runs in the sun or in the rain. No. So I'm going to stick to indoor workout for now until we're comfortable with the weather again, or just go for walks. Okay, so let's reset for the month. A few things that I need to do to kind of get into the whole new month vibe is I need to cook. I haven't cooked stew in 3 months, and it wasn't intentional. It just was not something that I needed to eat all the time anymore, because I was eating different things. So like, I was still eating rice, of course, but I just wasn't eating rice that needed stew. So like, I would have sauce, I would have sauce, is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. So like, I would have vegetables, like I would have mixed veggies, I would have mixed pepper, but like blend pepper and make Nigerian stew, I haven't done in 3 months. The closest I have been to that was Gistudu, and I did that because I had to do it for youth church. Apart from that, it's a long time I've had that. So I need to meal prep for the month of November, meal prep in the sense that I already have most of the ingredients, so I'm just going to get into cooking them. I also need to change my blanket. So we're getting to colder months. It's November now. So that means that in a few days, we're going to be in single digits. We're still in double digits, but like low double digits. So it's like 11 degrees, 10 degrees. Sometimes we get 13. But very soon we're going to be getting into 6, 7, 5 and all of that. So I need to change my blanket and bring out the winter blanket. So I need to do that. Okay, so let's look at my intentions for the month of November. This month is a very defining one in the sense that there are so many things that I want to work on and just launch in the last few days of the year. The month of September in my home church was declared as the month of dance. So we were just dancing, dance, 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 dance. And so like it kind of makes you more conscious of being a grateful person. And also in the Hallelujah Challenge, of course, the Hallelujah Challenge is music and praying and dancing. So we're dancing a lot. And in those few periods, and from that period, I've just kind of been holding on to Thanksgiving and grace. And so that's what I'm holding on to for the month of November, that everything is going to be sustained by grace and I'm going to just be dancing. And so with that, I have my intentions for the month of November. And so first of all, I have been very consistent with creating YouTube shorts on YouTube in the last 2 months, but I want to go back into creating long form content because I actually miss it. And I feel like it is also an avenue for me to share the knowledge that I want to share. With YouTube shorts, it's just more like aesthetics and just short, very quick chats on what you're trying to say, or maybe just a text saying what it is that you want to say. They have been doing well, but I want to go back into expatiating on what I want to share. And so I'm going to have 5 YouTube videos in November. I'm saying it so that I can hold myself and you can hold me accountable. 5 YouTube videos in November every Thursday, starting from today, which is Thursday. And then, yes, that's what I'm going to do. I also am going to relaunch my goal setting course, which I launched last year on Udemy. And the reviews were amazing. And so I'm going to relaunch it. And so I need to just sit down and think of how I want that to go and the message I want people to know that they are going to get when they come into that. So yeah, that's another goal I'm working on in November. The third thing I'm working on in November is launching my annual goal setting session. I already put it out on Instagram, so if you would like to join that session, I'm going to have the link in the description bar so that you can click it and join. And we are going to plan for 2024 together. And I'm excited about this particular one because there are so many things that I tried in the last few months of the year that I'm excited to share with you and see how it's going to help you to just be more intentional about the goals that you want to set for yourself in 2024. Yeah. So if you would like to join that, the link is in the description bar. So for spiritual growth, I am going to be studying the books of Esther and Ruth this month of November. I've always been a person that studies the Bible by books and chapters. So like, yes, you can do topical and all of that, but I just like to dive into a particular book of the Bible and suck it out before I move to another one. And so this month, I'm going to be looking at, my plan was just to say, I'm going to be looking at the books of women, amazing women in the Bible, but there are just so many and they are kind of scattered as well. So I'm going to start with Esther and then Ruth and then Judges for Deborah's story and then just see how it goes, because December I'm going to be focusing on the book of Luke. And I'm going to kind of open it up to people that want to join me on that study for Luke leading to Christmas. Yes, more on that later, not now. If you want to share with me your intentions for November, I'm looking forward to seeing them. I've shared mine, so share with me in the description, in the comment section, sorry. Share with me in the comment section and let us hold each other accountable. Okay, let's wrap this video up with my favorite. The first favorite I'm going to share with you is this Zara perfume. Oh my goodness. Actually, it's 2 Zara perfumes. I finished one and then I saw this other one. This one finished. Zara Rose Gourmand. Love it. Smells absolutely heavenly. And I shouldn't say that because the next one I'm going to talk about, I'm going to say smells absolutely heavenly as well. And that is the Zara Memorable Aura. Aura. I hope that's how it is pronounced. I don't know. This perfume, look, I got this perfume, 2-3 weeks ago, and I've used it every day that I have gotten it. I'm not lying. I've used it every single day. I use it when I'm not going anywhere. I use it when I'm going somewhere. I layer it with my other perfumes. It smells absolutely amazing. And I think that one of the reasons why I even got the perfume was because, number one, I had gone beyond my perfume budget for the year. And I wanted to get the Fame, Paco Rabanne Fame perfume for myself, and so I was not just ready to cough out the money for that particular perfume. And then I saw, like, you know, these people that do dupe perfumes, And they said that this one smells like it. And I was like, okay, let me try it. So I walked into Zara, I tried it, and I said, absolutely, yeah. So it doesn't smell exactly like how Fame smells, but it's a close, very close scent to it. And I love it. I just absolutely love it. Okay, so that's one. Another thing I enjoyed this month, one of my favorites, was this month I actually stayed away from movies. I didn't watch movies on Netflix. I didn't watch any new movies or anything. And again, it wasn't intentional. It was just like the time that I would have spent on the movies, I was spending on other things like reading the books. And it was just, this last month was just interesting for me, honestly. So I've always been a fan of Mount Zion movies. Obviously, I grew up on it, but with their relaunch on YouTube, I have just been an absolute fan. And so I've watched every other thing. But like this particular season, one, I did not start with them because one, I was waiting for the season to be done so that I could just watch it in one go and not have to wait for the next season. But then I had the holiday, so like I have the holiday, which is why I'm doing all of this creating content and everything this week. And so I was like, you know what? I actually can start watching it because I saw that it is just one more episode to the finale. And I was thinking I would definitely not finish all of this before Sunday comes. Lies. I finished it and now I'm waiting, which is what I was trying to avoid. But then it was so nice to see, and it's just an amazing movie to watch. If you're looking for a good Christian movie to watch that would inspire your faith, you absolutely should check it. I'm going to have a link in the description bar. Another thing that I watched on YouTube was Half and Half. So it's a Nigerian Nollywood movie. Love it. It's like a copy of Mr. and, not Mr. and Mrs. What's the name of that movie? It's like a copy of this particular movie. I've been trying to remember the title of this movie. I cannot remember what it's called, but I'm going to have it here as well. It's like a copy, but the storyline is not exactly the same. It was just a very easy movie to watch. Like, it was just easy. And I like easy movies when I don't want to think about it. So yeah, those are 3 favorite things for me in the month of October. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your intentions, your goals, your wins, and anything you want to share with me about the month of October or the month of November. Please do not forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up if you did, share with your friends and family, and I will see you guys in the next one. Till next time, bye.